Good morning. How are you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Absolutely fantastic for you. I mean, because you're so magnetic as it is when it comes to making music in Nashville and stuff. But for you to reach out and now you're talking to radio people around the nation, this is your opportunity for connection. How do you prepare for something like this?
I just woke up in the morning, made a little bit of breakfast, and just do the thing. Just do the normal me.
The normal me includes what? Because I get out of bed and the first thing I do is I have to write. Writing is my way of cleansing the day.
Oh, really? I mean, this morning I took my son to school and made some
Oh.
lunches and just sort of went through my normal rituals there and just a normal day.
I
I
think one of
should have said I got my guitar out and I wrote for 30 minutes.
the I think one of the most fascinating things about this modern age is the participation that fathers have with their kids. Because growing up, my dad would have never taken me to school. He didn't take me to the grocery store. He didn't do things like that. I am so amazed with the way fathers really, really lead their children these days. And I want to compliment you on that.
That's awesome. Thank you. You know, I'm trying to be around, just trying to be around. I know my dad, like, he did a great job and, but just didn't see him all that much. And I think I want to do the opposite.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Being on The Voice, when you step back and you look at the entire picture rather than a close-in shot, I mean, this is like playing a professional sport because you've got the blind auditions, you've got the battle rounds, you've got the coaches that can block, there's so much going on. How do you get up and around and into that end zone?
Well, there's only so much I can control.
Right.
I can learn the song. I can relax and sing. It's singing. And I love singing. I've been saying that all along. Like, if I get stressed out, it's like, hey, this is just singing and you love singing. So just get out there and sing the song. And that's all I can really do. That's what I can control. And the rest of it is just, I just got to show up. I just got to show up and see what happens in a lot of ways.
Well, to me, that's trusting the atmosphere of now. And that's what I love about you is that you have not been afraid to share your skills. I mean, being in that recording session, your father's sessions and stuff like that as a background singer, my God, dude, what an amazing adventure.
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve my whole life in terms of just hearing myself through a microphone and adjusting my ears to what might have expected or whatever. And always just kind of finding that centered place to hear the song. That's for sure.
You bring up a very interesting point about, listening to your voice, with the earphones and things like that, because I teach broadcasting. I'm with future broadcasters. And one of the toughest parts of the journey is getting them to understand where your earphones. You've got to listen beyond sound.
Yeah. Right. You have to listen when I'm singing in a studio or on stage, but like in a studio specifically here, I'm trying to hear. I don't like taking an ear off because I want to hear how it's going to sit in the mix I'm singing in. And that's not always easy to dial in, but it is important. I agree. You have to listen through it and really try to imagine the final product of what you're building.
So I got to ask you a question. I mean, you're proving to the viewers that there's no such thing as age. Just conquer your dreams. To me, I mean, at 60, I'm still 16. What age do you feel?
I'll be honest. I feel younger than ever, even though I'm a solid 40, solid 41. Actually, just forgot that. And I'm feeling younger than ever. I've been getting my yoga on for about 10 years now. I feel like that has really changed my life. And there's just I don't feel like I'm slowing down. There's actually things I feel like I can do now at 41 that I don't think I could do at 17.
Absolutely. I just talked about that on iHeartRadio, that I don't think that I want to go back into the past at any time because I don't think I'm strong enough to be what that guy went through to get here. I want to be in the moment of now.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about you. I love what you have on your Instagram, professionally emotional. My God, dude, that says so much about your creative spirit.
Yeah. That is stuck. That was a joke originally because I had a friend who said, a lot of my friends don't know what I do, and like it's just always been the case. I'm a bit of an enigma in my friend group, and one of them goes, "Steven, you're. I guess I get it now. You're sort of professionally emotional." I laughed so hard I had to put it on my profile. Because it's very true. Like all of these emotional lyrics, all of these emotional things, and we're just really clocking in to show up and write a song, and it, I don't know, it cracked me up. It's stuck.
Yeah, but don't you have to live it?
The more you get to know me, the more that really makes sense.
Well, exactly, because I mean, you're not afraid to put it down on paper. I mean, that's like somebody who says, "Well, I secretly journal, but I hide everything." Why are you hiding it, man? Come on, you release it so the rest of us can learn.
Yeah. I heard somebody say, and it was a friend of mine, Amy, and she had a lot to do with supporting bands and finding them what they needed and connecting them with investors and all that stuff. And she was breaking it down one time, and she said, "I think we show up to shows to see people." It took me a while to figure out exactly what she meant, but the more I think about it, the more I think she's exactly right. Because you got to just dare to be just hang it out there and see how it goes. Like, and it doesn't have to go perfect, and you're going to feel all the feelings. But as an audience member, we have the benefit of watching you go through something that we have to encourage in ourselves.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I do, because Gene Simmons told me one day, he goes, "Look, if you don't believe it's the greatest thing on this planet, nobody else will. And you've got to believe in that."
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Speaking of big names, your voice with Celine Dion, what was that experience like?
I mean, again, that that was like my big break, and all of it was surreal. It was right after our first son was, we just found out he was on the way. So, in that moment of hearing that Celine's going to cut a song that we wrote the other day, are you serious? It was like, it was like a mountain moving. You know what I mean? It was unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. And even to this day, still kind of can't believe it, because it's Celine Dion, and to have my name associated with any part of that epic career is really an honor.
Well, the one thing that's missing from radio today is the fact that we used to have to take the ASCAP BMI notes, where before we'd play a song, we'd have to put the songwriters' names on this piece of paper and stuff. That's how you guys got paid. I mean, it's a different story today, but that, to me, that's one of the disconnections of music with the artist, because we totally forget about the songwriter. You guys are just as important.
Yeah, well, we're a piece of the puzzle, and it's I have been encouraged by, what is it? I was on Spotify the other day and clicked around and I actually saw the listing of the writers on a song that
nice.
I feel like it's like there's a remedy that's on the way where people are finding out more. And then I'll see some stuff where like there's a playlist of a writer where you see all these different artists that have cut their songs, and that's really amazing to me too. But you're right. We're a pretty key ingredient for the whole music business. Like, and as the royalty rates and the streaming rights and all this stuff has, stripped out the value that writers are, having a hard time making a living, but we're still at the very beginning of the process. So this whole thing is going to have to sort itself out in terms of like making enough money as a writer. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. I'm saying like the royalty rates are too small for publishing, but there's ways that writers are starting to get around that. I think we'll start sharing the masters as we, go forward, in terms of like an artist willing to cut in a writer on not just the writing credit, but the ownership of the recording, which I see that happening a little bit here and there.
See, I totally believe in that theory, because, a drop of water touches a seed, becomes a tree. A tree lives for 40, 50 years, sacrifices its life for me to have a sheet of paper to write on. I then talk about it on the radio. Listener changes their life. Look how long that process is.
Right. Exactly.
So now let's talk about the process of music in the way of Miley Cyrus with Wrecking Ball. Doesn't this prove that she's not just a pop star, that this is a work of art, and you got to be a part of that?
Yeah. Well, Miley's amazing. And I mean, she embodies this character that she has developed as a brand and all that stuff, but she's a real person,
Yep.
whenever the lights go off. And I think she's a real person who just connects with those lyrics. And that's sort of where, whenever Morgan and I were singing it, like, we were just starting to break it down to, like, what's this song about?
Yep.
And how do we embody what it's saying? And but that's the power of a song, is like it can be this for this person, and another person can do the exact same song and it mean something completely different. And it was an honor, though. It was pretty cool to just get up there and be ourselves with such a wild song. We were hoping that, like, we could do it so different that nobody would necessarily see the wrecking ball swinging through with Miley on it. You know what I
mean? So true. Your coach is Camila Cabello, man. That's got to be an honor too, because I mean, we're talking about not only the present day of music, but she's leaving a mark for even tomorrow's artists.
Right. She's really awesome. And on top of that, let's not forget that, like, she started at 15 on some sort of, stage show, like, situation, and has just bloomed ever since. All of her advice is rock solid. I'll tell you that much. And, like, her comments are thoughtful and really helpful. I don't know. I've been really impressed with her, and I feel like I kind of hit the coach jackpot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, congratulations on being on The Voice. I hope to talk to you in the weeks ahead, because when you guys come back for that final week, you're right here in the studio again. So I know you're going to be there, and I look forward to that conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. I can see it too, and I really appreciate the support.
You bet. You be brilliant today, okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.